Good morning, everyone. This is a very nice time of year, Diwali, Kali Puja, coming up. I thought I would speak about Mother Kali. I apologize, I've given this talk so many times, some of you may have it memorized. Anyhow, it's good to repeat things. This is one of the teachings we have in Vedanta. Yeah, that one of the ways to learn something is through repetition. So I should get a pass. So Mother Kali, this is one of the many, many forms of mother worship in India. She's worshipped in so many different ways. This is one of the most unusual forms, all the different forms of Mother Kali. And when we think about how Mother Kali was worshipped at the time of Sri Ramakrishna, and when the British came to India, and what the British must have thought, seeing this image of Mother Kali, even in the Bhavatarani, even the image that we have at Dakshineshwar, even this would have appeared very gruesome, and this is one of the mild forms. There are so many different images that we have, and the worship of Mother Kali is unique from the point of view that there'll be this terrible aspect, and then there'll be the very sweet, loving mother aspect. And we'll see the way she's worshipped by Sri Ramakrishna, and also the way that she's worshipped by Swami Vivekananda are quite different. So there's a tremendous amount of variety in the way that people look upon the Mother Kali. The philosophical side of it is also very beautiful. When we look at the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna, I think really there's a kind of blend of Advaita Vedanta and the Shakta philosophy, because he likes this idea of oneness. Of course, he accepted all different spiritual paths. We know that. There's no way to pigeonhole him in any one particular Vedantic tradition, but he liked this idea that everything will end in oneness. And he also liked this idea that, why call this world unreal like a dream? I like to look upon this as the glory of the Divine Mother, this Aishwarya, this manifestation of the Brahman, the glory of the Divine Mother, different ways of looking at it. So he was a realist from that point of view, and an idealist from the point of view. Everything is pure consciousness ultimately. So we have this wonderful blend of the Shakta philosophy and the Vedanta philosophy in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. So I wanted to speak a little bit about the Mother Kali, who she is, what she is, her inscrutable nature. There's another aspect of the worship of Divine Mother, especially Mother Kali, I would say, that appeals to me very much. This idea that ultimately everything is inscrutable, that we think that we can come up with logical explanations for everything, that through this discrimination of vichara and all the different paths that we have, studying Upanishads and Gita and everything, that we can figure out this relationship between this world and God and ourselves. And the worshippers of the Divine Mother are very clear that who can know who this Mother Kali is, how little we can understand. I like that, we'll get to it, the very final song that Swami Vivekananda sang in his lifetime, that the Kamalakanta, that he says, my whole life I've been trying to discover the answer to this mystery, who this Mother Kali is, in vain. So this is a very nice aspect that we understand the limitations of our human intellect, the ability to grasp the mystery behind this whole universe. And this is something that Sri Ramakrishna liked very much. So we have this image of Mother Kali. And this is something that will not appeal to everyone. As I said before, the British must have been horrified. This, one hand is okay. We have this, on the Mother Kali has forearms, that two of them, this Vara Abhaya, this is good. Okay, she's granting boon, she's granting freedom from fear. The others, she's holding a sword and a severed head. And she has a kind of around her waist, a little girdle of human arms, and there's blood dripping down, and some of them are really gruesome. So immediately people would think, who is this goddess? And a bloodthirsty goddess that they have to offer goats and other animals to her. So not only did the British feel like this, but the educated Indians, especially in Calcutta, who were so almost blinded by the British, the intellectual intelligentsia, we can say, that they also thought that this was a very low form of worship of Mother Kali. That even Swamiji, when he first came to Sri Ramakrishna, the attitude that he had, so we can understand all of that. So the worshippers of Mother Kali, they have to accept everything terrible and evil in this world, and everything good and beautiful, because there's only one power behind everything. So this is one of the ideas. Other traditions, they'll have to come up with some Satan or devil or something like that to explain all of the horrible things that take place in nature and human nature and everything. But the devotee of Divine Mother, Mother Kali, they'll accept everything. That she's that one power behind everything. And traditionally, we have this kind of combination, Shiva and Shakti, Shiva and Kali, that Shiva represents the conscious element, the infinite, absolute, transcendent element, and Mother Kali, the kind of earth element, the powerful element. For Sri Ramakrishna, Mother Kali was both. Slight difference. He used to say that to Narendra, that which you call the Brahman, I call Kali. Only both nirguna saguna, personal, impersonal, everything, or complete, full manifestation. This was his conception of Mother Kali. So we see black complexion that indicates the void, indicates the infinite absolute reality. Then we see tongue sticking out. We see jackals around, that she's in a cremation ground. And at the same time, to this child, she's all sweetness and love. So this is all the paradoxes that get combined in this image of Mother Kali. And she was also the presiding deity for these dacoits and the highway robbers and everything. And there were always rumors, perhaps true, that there would be human sacrifices made. So the reputation that the Kali worship god was a very bad reputation. And here, this Sri Ramakrishna, full of love and sweetness and everything, is worshipping this Mother Kali. So it was a big shock. This Narendra, he used to say, after so many years, he's still going to that Kali temple. But then he'll learn his lesson after some time. The interesting thing is, ironic thing, is that it was Sister Nivedita who brought some measure of respectability to Kali worship in Kolkata. She gave some lectures, one at Albert Hall, I think, at some big place. Many people, highly respected people came, and also at Kali Ghat she spoke. And when they saw that here this foreign woman, British, Irish, you can say, that talking in glowing terms about the beautiful philosophy and the imagery and everything behind this Mother Kali, then it changed the minds of many people. But for the devotee following the path of Sri Ramakrishna, and we'll get to Ramprasad, that the emphasis is not on this terrible aspect, but on that sweet, loving relationship between a mother and a small child. The Sri Ramakrishna called this Santan Bhav, this loving relationship, that one thinks of oneself as a helpless child, relying fully on the mother, and that the mother is always there, perfect surrender. Mother will always come running. If the child is happy at play, she'll say, let him play. If the child calls for the mother, she'll come running. So we have this a completely different angle for Mother Kali that doesn't deal with this terrible side and everything. but all sweetness and love to the child, one who takes that particular attitude. When this I would say transition, I think the early period, it was this Mother Kali with the sword and the heads, everything. When the transition took place to this very sweet attitude, I don't know, but my suspicion is that Ram Prasad was the one most responsible. He was a wonderful composer, songs, poems, and everything, and one of the great worshippers of Mother Kali. And for Sri Ramakrishna, he was fully God-realized. He had the conviction that Mother had revealed herself to Ram Prasad. That was the inspiration for all of his songs. And he emphasized this very sweet attitude. In one of his songs, he says, because Mother Kali has red eyes, she's ready to kill the people. Says, your red eyes cannot frighten me. I know that you're my mother. So this Ram Prasad, we see so many references to his songs in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. And I had some special interest in Ram Prasad. At one point, I wanted to do my scholarship, my scholarly work in Ram Prasad. I was dissuaded from it. But anyhow, I had this great love for his poetry. And when I lived in India for 1 year as a student before I joined. And I rented a couple of rooms, small rooms in a little house, and the people upstairs, he was a great devotee of Mother Kali. I didn't know that, of course. They rented these rooms, and then I hear at nighttime singing the songs of Ram Prasad. I was so happy. And we became very good friends, and he used to go to Kali Ghat. Kali Ghat is one of the famous shrines for Mother Kali in Kolkata. And I went with him a few different occasions. We even took a trip to Howrah together. This is Ram Prasad's birthplace. I'll talk about that a little bit. Yeah, this Howrah, Ram Prasad, he lived there. You can visit this place. It's kind of in a trust. The shrine that he worshipped is there. It's very close to the bathing ghat where he went and passed away. It's a very inspiring place to go to. So that was a very nice trip that we made at that time. So let me talk a little bit about Ram Prasad. He was born in 1723, so a full century plus before Sri Ramakrishna. And the parallels are also very interesting because, for one thing, he was not interested in family life at all, but he was given in marriage. This was a kind of standard thing, and you don't fight with the parents too much for that. They arranged it, so it was okay. Then his father died just as Ramakrishna's father had died, and they had this poverty problem, so he went to the big city, Kolkata, just as Ramakrishna did. And he found a job there as a clerk, and he had to keep accounts, kind of accountant, you can say. And all of the other people who worked there, they would take bribes, and they weren't so careful about the way they kept the ledgers and everything. And this Ram Prasad, he was a very honest person. So immediately they all disliked him. And they saw that he seemed to be scribbling in his spare time. So they went and they looked at the ledger, and they saw just repeating, writing Durga, Durga, Kali, 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 and then songs. He had actually written some of his first songs, and just in the accounting book, in the margins. So they thought, now we've got him. That we'll take this, we'll take it to his employer, and find out that he's wasting his time, he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing, and that he'll get fired. So they went and they showed this ledger book to the boss, and the first thing he saw is a very nice song. The first song that we know of the Ram Prasad is Amai Dalma Tobuldari. Mother, let me be the keeper of your accounts. So he's working at some business firm, and he wants to be the one who keeps the accounts for the Divine Mother. So it's, I will not be ungrateful. Everyone plunders the treasure of your feet. I cannot bear this. The custodian of your treasure is the ever-forgetful Shiva. Though he is naturally generous and easily pleased, still you keep the treasure in his custody. Half of your body is his estate, yet his salary is handsome. Though I am your servant without a pittance, I have only the right to bow down at your feet. Now, through some divine grace, the employer turned out to be a great devotee, and very soft, and tears start coming down his eyes as he's reading all of this. And he said to Ramprasad, "You have not been born to do this type of trifling work. If you want to be mother's keeper, then return to your village, compose songs to her, and the same salary that I'm giving you now, I'll give you there, without doing any work for us." So this is the first kind of grace of the mother that came to him. So he went home, and it was enough money that he got just to lead a very simple type of life. But then a second kind of grace came. As he sang these songs, he used to go to the bathing ghat and sing the songs there, and boats could come by and they could hear him. And one with some local Maharaja, who also was taken by all of this, and who is this Ramprasad? And he wanted him to be kind of the court poet and everything, so he gave him a nice stipend and some rent-free land, so he didn't have to worry about anything. The whole rest of his life he devoted just to composing these songs on Mother Kali, and people thought he was mad, just like Sri Ramakrishna, that he didn't pay enough attention to his wife, all sorts of things. But this absorption in Mother Kali became so great that he had many visions and everything. And towards the end of his life, he started composing songs and looking upon this formless, infinite aspect, impersonal aspect of the Divine Mother. And we find also in the life of Sri Ramakrishna that everything is going towards formlessness, towards the end of his life. He had that same type of feeling. And then at the age of 80, on the new moon night of Kali Puja night, which is coming up tomorrow night, Kali Puja night, he formed an image of Mother Kali in his own hands, went to the Ganga to worship her. He entered into the Ganga, singing songs to Kali, and became merged, and Mother gave up his body at that time. So, very wonderful life of Ramprasad. Another interesting thing, there was one Pannalal Bhattacharya, that famous, he was a young man, famous for the beautiful renditions of all of these songs, Ramprasad, Kamalakanta, all of these beautiful songs. At a very young age, he committed suicide. A very good chance that it was the same thing that almost drove Sri Ramakrishna to take his life, that longing to have that image of Divine Mother. So Ramprasad turned out to be, he represented the spiritual ideal for Sri Ramakrishna. When he prayed to the Divine Mother, he would say, "Mother, you've revealed yourself to Ramprasad, why won't you reveal yourself to me?" So he would always bring Ramprasad in. And when we look at the songs of Ramprasad, we see this beautiful blend, not just devotion, but the psychology and philosophy behind everything. So the psychology that God can be worshipped in any form. Why mother, why father? Now, if we say that God is with form and not without form, God is only with form, then it's one or the other. Nobody has a choice. There'll be those traditions that will say, "Oh, God is male. You can't worship God as a woman." But the psychology or philosophy behind this is that we worship God in the way that appeals to the heart. And if the idea of mother is more appealing, idea of worshiping God as father, traditionally father represents justice and firmness and everything, and mother represents sweetness and mercy and everything. So this worship of the Divine Mother that way is a very beautiful way of establishing a more intimate type of relationship. Child is more intimate with the mother. Child comes out of the mother's body. The mother nurses the body. The mother is in philosophical terms, the material cause of the child. Just as we say that Brahman is the material cause of this entire universe, it's the mother aspect. The father, he doesn't even have to be there when the child's born. He can be someplace else. He may not even know. But for the mother, the child is coming out of the mother. So the mother is always as Mother Earth, is that which is the ground for everything, the power behind everything. So this is a very beautiful way to understand why this idea of mother worship is so appealing. Psychologically, because of this relationship between mother and the child. Philosophically, because of this feeling of oneness between this whole, even physical universe and Divine Mother. The mother is nature itself, Mother Nature. We even use that term in the West. So this is part of that idea of this mother worship itself, and then Kali worship, of course, also. And looking upon God as mother, then all fear will vanish. The father punishes, the mother forgives, traditionally. And more intimate, the mother is carrying the child, nursing the child. And the child can force his demands on the mother. So this we see in many of the songs of Ram Prasad. One of his songs he writes, "This bitterly contested suit between the mother and her son, what sport it is, says Ram Prasad. I shall not cease tormenting thee, till thou thyself shalt yield the fight, and take me in thine arms at last." Another song, "Mother, am I thine 8 months old child? Thy red eyes cannot frighten me. A deed of gift I hold in my hand, attested by thy husband Shiva. I shall sue thee, if I must, and with a single point shall win." So the child can get angry at the mother, but where will the child go? To the mother. This is that idea, that the child sees nothing else, knows nothing else but the mother. So now we start to get this idea that seeing everything as a manifestation of Mother Kali. It's a very beautiful song. There's a beautiful song, again, that Ram Prasad wrote about this. There's also a Sanskrit poem, I think, Shankaracharya, with the same idea. He says, "O my mind, worship Kali to your heart's content, repeating day and night the Guru's mantra. When lying down, feel that you are prostrating at Mother's feet. While sleeping, feel that you are meditating on Mother. Let your eating of food be oblations to her. Mother Kali is the embodiment of all the sounds of the alphabet. Whatever enters your ears is her holy name." Joyously, Ram Prasad says, "Mother is manifest in all things. While walking about the town, feel that you are circumambulating Mother Kali." About Shiva. Yeah, the same idea from Shankaracharya hymn. Yeah. Another aspect of this is the feeling of loss, separate, and darkness when the child can't find the mother. That I'm sure all of you have seen that sometimes in a shopping center mall or something, the child will be separated from the mother. The child is screaming his head off. "Where is my mother? Where is my mother?" So Sri Ramakrishna, he had that feeling, this vyakulata, this a tremendous feeling of agony at separation. So this is how that first vision of Mother Kali came. We all know the story, that he had reached the point where he felt life is not worth living unless I have the vision of Mother Kali. And there's a sword that's kept there to use for the sacrifice, about to reach for that to cut his throat, and has the vision at that time, falls down unconscious, and doesn't know how long he's in that state. A very beautiful description, wave after wave of bliss and pure consciousness overcame me, and I felt lost all outer consciousness of the world. And they say when he came to, after a certain period of time, on his lips were the words, "Ma, ma, ma," mother, mother, mother. So from that time on, Sri Ramakrishna felt that he was an instrument in the hands of the Divine Mother. Another very important aspect of Sri Ramakrishna's worldview, and also those who are devotees of the Divine Mother, this feeling that she does everything. Everything is in Mother's hands. That she'll act through us. And the very, very famous song, the Shokali Tomaricha. Everyone knows this song. Mother, all is done after thine own sweet will. Thou art in truth self-willed, O Redeemer of mankind. Thou workest thine own work, men only call it theirs. Thou it is that holdest the elephant in the mire, thou that helpest the lame scale the loftiest hill. On some thou dost bestow the bliss of Brahmanhood, yet others thou dost hurl into the world below. Thou art the moving force, and I the mere machine. The house am I, and thou the spirit dwelling there. I am the chariot, and thou the charioteer. I move alone, as thou, O Mother, movest me. So, what was Mother Kali in the eyes of Sri Ramakrishna? We have this very high philosophical ideal that Mother is Brahman itself, Nirguna, Saguna, everything combined. On the other hand, she's like a guardian angel. She's guiding him. She talks to him. He hears her anklets jingling. We don't know. There's no possible way that we can understand that relationship that he had, how real. She was far more real to him in that particular form than anything we can possibly imagine. So we have this other side to it, this sweet, beautiful relationship that Sri Ramakrishna had. She was universal, she was infinite, she was absolute, and at the same time, she had that personality, that very particular aspect to her, and that relationship between Sri Ramakrishna and Mother Kali. We really cannot understand him at all. How much can we understand unless we understand this relationship he had with the Divine Mother? So we have this traditional view, this tantric view, that everything is a combination of the personal and the impersonal. That Sri Ramakrishna says in different places, everything is a combination of Brahman and Shakti, these two things together, that we can't imagine this Brahman. Brahman, we say, is pure consciousness. Pure consciousness can't do anything. Brahman is incapable of there's no action within Brahman. Nariha. It doesn't do anything. We can't imagine this Brahman unless it has within it this power. There's a power to project itself, to manifest itself, for the whole universe to come into existence. So this is that Vedantic idea. In some schools of Advaita Vedanta, they'll look upon this not as a power, but as Maya. This concept of Maya almost always will end up being some type of Shakti, even if it's the power of ignorance, power of delusion, somehow. But for Sri Ramakrishna, he says, why give it a negative spin? Why not say this is the power of the Divine Mother, that she's the one who's giving rise to all of this. She gives birth to this universe like a mother gives birth to a child. Therefore, everything is holy and everything is sacred. This is how Swami Turiyananji, who was a great Advaitin, at the end of his life could say, Brahma Satyam, Jagat Satyam. That Brahman is real. This world is also real. Why is it real? Because it's nothing but Brahman. It's nothing but Brahman in this particular manifest form. So for Sri Ramakrishna, Kali, not the one who talks to him, this philosophical side, we can say Kali and Brahman are non-different. See, this Narendra, he always used to argue with Sri Ramakrishna, who is this Mother Kali you keep talking about. So he said to him, all in good time. See, this Narendra, he doesn't believe in Mother Kali, and he's complaining, I can't get her vision. We'll see a lot of inconsistencies in his thinking at that time. So Sri Ramakrishna said, all in good time, my child. Kali is none other than Brahman. See, he's not saying the consort of Shiva, the power that belongs to Brahman. It's both. It's Brahman together with the power. Kali is none other than Brahman. That which is called Brahman is really Kali. She is the primal energy When that energy remains inactive, I call it Brahman. And then when it creates, preserves, or destroys, I call it Shakti or Kali. What you call Brahman, saying to Narendra, what you call Brahman, I call Kali. Remember the Brahma Samaj at that time. Brahman and Kali are not different. They are like fire and its power to burn. If one thinks of fire, one must think of its power to burn. If one recognizes Kali, one must also recognize Brahman. Again, if one recognizes Brahman, one must recognize Kali. That means Nirguna, Saguna. Brahman and its power are identical. It is Brahman whom I address as Shakti or Kali. Now, when we get to Swami Vivekananda, we'll see that there was nothing very easy in his learning to appreciate Mother Kali. That this was the one thing that he probably objected to more than anything else when he was coming to Sri Ramakrishna. How Sri Ramakrishna is such an enlightened soul. I mean, he never lost his respect, but how he goes and worshipped in this Kali temple. So we know that in the beginning, Swamiji had very little interest in this Mother Kali business. But a great change came over him, that by the end of his life, that this was everything to him. So it was very interesting that he started out thinking this was a great superstition, this worship of Mother Kali, that she can do this, she can do that. And at one time he said, how I hated Mother Kali. That means this idea, how I hated that. Here, intelligent people worship this figure of a woman with a head in the hand, all of that. But then everything changed. One of the, we can say, major events in his life was the passing away of his father, and the whole family was in a state of terrible poverty. And one day, Narendra went to Sri Ramakrishna. He always hesitated to ask him for anything other than samadhi, always pestering him for samadhi. But he said, look at the condition of my parents. Of my mother and my brothers. He said, can you do something? He said, I've prayed many times, and nothing, so can you do something? And then, now we'll see this little play back and forth between Sri Ramakrishna and Swamiji. Sri Ramakrishna said, I prayed many times. That means for Narendra. Mother does not answer my prayer because you don't accept her. Now, what does Narendra say? He says, yeah, I don't believe in Mother Kali, but you do. So if you pray to her, she'll answer my prayer. So think of the logic there. That means that deep down, he had some type of faith in all of that. So a very well-known story that Sri Ramakrishna says, no, nothing will happen unless you yourself ask Mother. I've tried. She doesn't listen to me. You have to go. So this is on also Kali Puja night that Thakur sends him to the Kali temple in Dakshineshwar, and 3 different occasions. So first time, let me read it. This is in Swamiji's own words. He said, a strange mood overcame him. A sort of profound inebriation possessed me. I was reeling. A firm conviction gripped me that I would actually see Mother and hear her words. Now, of course, this is all the play of Sri Ramakrishna with all this. Coming to the temple, I saw that Mother was actually pure consciousness, was actually living, and was really the fountainhead of infinite love and beauty. My heart swelled with loving devotion, and beside myself with bliss, I made repeated salutations to her, praying, Mother, grant me discrimination, grant me divine knowledge and devotion. Ordain that I may always have an unobstructed vision of you. My heart was flooded with peace. The whole universe completely disappeared. So it's not, he's having a full-blown vision here. The whole universe completely disappeared, and Mother alone remained, filling my heart. So he went back to Sri Ramakrishna, filled with joy. And what does Sri Ramakrishna say? Did you remember to ask her about your parents and all this? About your mother and the family? And he said, no, I got there, I forgot everything. So he sends him back. And the second time, same thing happens. And then the third time he went back, and he said, this time I won't forget, I'll remember. But when he gets there, he says, how small I feel to ask for anything, only asking for divine love and knowledge and renunciation and everything. So that was the experience that he had. He went back to Sri Ramakrishna's room, and he wanted to learn a song about on Mother Kali. It was the song that was sung first. So I was very happy to hear that. The Amarma Tonghi Tara. So it's a song to the Divine Mother. And the Swamiji sang that throughout the whole night, over and over and over again. When the devotees, many came the next day, they saw Narendra sleeping. And they asked, why is he sleeping? And then Sri Ramakrishna was beaming with joy. He said, oh, you don't know the experience he had last night. Whole night he was awake just singing the song to Mother Kali. Now he's taking some rest. So he used to say, Narendra has accepted Kali. Now this devotion to Mother Kali was a great secret that Swamiji didn't really say anything to people about it. He said he kept it hidden deep within. Later he used to say, it's my own fad, this love of Mother Kali. There's a letter that he wrote. Most of the letters he wrote to Mary Hale were so sweet. They had a relationship of older brother to younger sister, and they would playfully write back and forth to each other. Anyhow, he wrote to Mary Hale, Kali worship is my special fad. You never heard me preach of it or read of my preaching it in India. I only preach what is good for universal humanity. If there is any curious method which applies entirely to me, I keep it a secret, and there it ends. So Swamiji, we know, he didn't even talk about Sri Ramakrishna in this country. With very few exceptions. Everything was what are the teachings that will bring some joy and some happiness, some dispassion, some universal feeling and love and everything to people in the West. This Vedanta, he taught very pure type of Vedanta. But this love for the Mother Kali, in the way that he understood it, always remained with him. When we look at the incident that took place in Kashipur, this was towards the end of Sri Ramakrishna's life, when he was suffering from throat cancer, of course. And Narendra was pestering him for some type of experience, and he had that Nirvikalpa Samadhi experience. And later, Sri Ramakrishna had somebody send for him, and he said to him, Sri Ramakrishna said to Narendra, now Mother has shown you everything. Just as a treasure is locked up in a box, so with this realization you have just had remain with me. You have work to do. When you have finished my work, the treasure box will be unlocked again, and you will know everything then as you did just now. So I think part of this was this, what was kept locked in the key was this love of Mother Kali, the way it could express itself. But we'll see that it had to come out eventually. So there was a wonderful incident that took place when Swamiji went to Amarnath with some of his Western disciples and had that great vision, Amarnath in the cave. And after that, everything was Shiva, Shiva, Shiva. But something changed. And he told his disciples, most of this we know from Sister Nivedita. She said, wherever he turned, this is what she had told him, wherever he turned, he felt the presence of the Mother, as if she were a person in the room, the way Sri Ramakrishna felt. And felt as if Mother or Sri Ramakrishna, now there's almost no difference between the two, were holding him by the hand and leading his every step. So this absorption in Mother became so strong that Swamiji felt he had to leave, go off on his own. And one evening, so he went to they were on the Dal Lake in Kashmir. So he went by some small boat somewhere to a solitary place, and he said, one evening, mind was fixed on Mother Kali and all that was dark, painful, and inscrutable in the world. So for Swamiji, he liked this terrible aspect of Mother, both aspects. So his mind was fixed on Mother Kali and all that was dark, painful, and inscrutable in the world in order to reach the divine reality behind all appearances. So he had some type of great revelation at that time. And he took his pen in his hand and he wrote that beautiful poem, Kali the Mother. And after that, they say that as he wrote the final words, the pen fell from his hand and he dropped down on the floor, unconscious of the outer world. So this is the beautiful poem that I'll read. And it shows how, because Swamiji's nature was different from Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna was always the child attitude. But Swamiji loved this idea that the same power behind this earthquakes and tsunamis and everything is the same power that brings the rain, that gives the crops and everything, that same divine power. And this aspect of the world is a frightening place, and Mother is there. So anyhow, let me read this, his poem, Kali the Mother. The stars are blotted out. The clouds are covering clouds. It is darkness, vibrant, sonant. In the roaring, whirling wind are the souls of 1,000,000 lunatics just loose from the prison house, wrenching trees by the roots, sweeping all from the path. The sea has joined the fray and swirls up mountain waves to reach the pitchy sky. The flash of lurid light reveals on every side 1,000,000 shades of death, begrimed and black, scattering plagues and sorrows. Dancing mad with joy, come, Mother, come, for terror is thy name, death is in thy breath, and every shaking step destroys a world forever. Thou time, the all-destroyer, come, O Mother, come, who dares misery love and hugs the form of death, dance in destruction's dance, to him the Mother comes. So after this experience, he went back to the group. Nivedita, fortunately, was there to record many things. And everything then was about Divine Mother. He said to Nivedita, learn to recognize Mother as instinctively in evil, terror, sorrow, and annihilation, as in that which makes for sweetness and joy. Then another great event took place. Swamiji went to a famous temple called Kir Bhavani. The Mother was offered this rice pudding there. Anyhow, he went on his own. He had this desire for solitude, and he went just as a simple pilgrimage. This world-renowned sadhu. Now he always went like that, and he saw that the temple had been practically destroyed. Different invaders at different times had come, and he thought to himself, if I had been here, I would have laid down my life to protect you. He's looking at Mother and said that to her. Then he heard Mother's voice scolding him for his pride. Later he described the whole thing to Nivedita and others. He said, no more Hari Om, it is all Mother now. All my patriotism is gone. Now it is only Mother, Mother. I have been very wrong. Mother said to me, what even if unbelievers should enter my temples and defile my images? What is that to you? Do you protect me, or do I protect you? So there is no more patriotism. I am only a little child. As Swamiji approached the final days of his life, again, this thought of Mother Kali was just predominant in his mind. He went for a long walk with Swami Premanandi, and it told him that he wanted this Kali Puja to be done, that next Saturday night. He didn't even live long enough for that. And that last morning, when he seemed to be healthier than he had been earlier, this was a very common thing. He got up early, he went to the shrine, he locked the shrine so no one else could go, spent a long time there in meditation, and when he came out, he sang that song to a Mother Kali written by Kamalakanta. And I'll close by reading that song. Is Kali, my mother, really black? The naked one, though black she seems, lights the lotus of the heart. Men call her black, but yet my mind will not believe that she is so. Now she is white, now red, now blue. Now she appears as yellow too. I hardly know who mother is, though I've pondered all my life. Now Purusha, spirit, now Prakriti, nature, and now the void she seems to be. To meditate on all these things confounds poor Kamalakanta's wits. So let's take a few minutes and we can contemplate this idea of the Divine Mother, dwelling within the heart, there, guiding us and protecting us, and how she, the role that this worship of Mother Kali played in the life of Sri Ramakrishna and Swamiji.